So this is going to be a trailer for a tutorial I'm halfway through creating. It is a Zero to Nazi Zombies clone where we create the assets and code the game. We of course use Godot and Blender for the tutorial, and it will be free. It should be coming out by the end of December. If you want to get this super tutorial around Christmas, please subscribe. Here's our overview. We're going to build a 3D environment and characters in a program called Blender. We will then use GIMP, General Image Manipulation Program, to texture this environment and our models. We will then export this environment plus models to our game engine called Godot. Here we will build and code our game. It will be a slimmed down version of Nazi Zombies. Our enemies will chase us down, and we the player will shoot at them and get points, FPS style. It sounds like a lot, but I promise you this is the fastest way to learn what I have learned in 5 years. I'm condensing all my knowledge down to get you in the game as quick as possible and avoid the frustration that plagued me. Sometimes you don't even really know what questions to ask, so you don't know how to advance forward. I'm going to clear all that up and just get you moving as fast as possible. Alright, so we're making the map now. You can skip past this part if you want. This is just kind of to show you how I did it. And here it was kind of stupid to model both sides because I end up just cutting it in half and using a mirror modifier. So, I mean, that's usually my go-to. I don't know why I didn't do it from the start here. It's not a very big map, but I wanted to give a couple challenges for the pathfinding for Godot. I wanted to have some hallways, which I do, and then I also wanted to have the bridges. And I think what I'm going to do is just make a flat mesh to go on top of everything. And it'll make more sense when I do it, but I'm going to have that be what the character collides with, and then all the other meshes are just going to be there just for show, and we'll have the collision mesh be separate. I think that's a good idea. So I'm getting pretty close to, I'm doing some planks right here, putting them in an array, and then I'm just going to have these floating steps that are like purple stone shit or whatever. It's going to be like a space type thing with some type of liquid flowing underneath it is what I'm going for. You put the camera into view, and I think it's always good to get a viewpoint on your level with your camera, and then you can hit O to return to it, so it's always, you know, you can press O and get that vantage point. So here I kept fucking with the geometry for no reason, and then I had some textures. Oh yeah, here I started putting all the textures on, and I basically just grabbed fill patterns from GIMP and then, you know, changed the color a little bit or edited them. I mean, you could go as crazy as you want with the textures and make your own, or have an artist make them, or buy them, or, you know, however you want to do it. I'm just doing this the fastest way I know, just to demonstrate what like textures are and shit like that. I don't know, my approach towards graphics is that they should just look good enough to be able to understand what the thing is. And what the thing is abstract buildings, so I think that's what it looks like to me. I'm kind of along the PS2 lines of just make it look good enough. I never really gave a shit about HD graphics, but I'm not a little zoomer, so what do I know? Here, the scaling on these is all fucked up, so I have to go back and apply the scale, and that makes them look a little better. I do like this ground texture. I think that looks pretty cool. Even though I didn't really make it, I just copied and pasted it. But I really like that. It looks pretty fucking sick. The goat texture, I don't know why I was trying to put that in there. It looks like shit. I thought maybe it would look cool, but it does not. So I eventually give up, and you can watch that in just a second. I just thought this was a good demonstration of UVs and how you can map them and try and make shit. But, you know, sometimes it's just not worth all the effort. Especially if you're doing an indie game. I mean, why? But yeah, we plugged that shit in right there. That looks pretty good. And then I added a background texture in the world environment, and that's how that stuff appears in the back on the rendered scene. But yeah, then I just add this big plane and subdivide it a bunch of times, and then we add a displacement modifier with a noise texture, so it kind of noises it all up, moves it all around, and makes some big rocks to put in the background, so it's kind of like almost like a query waterfall in outer space type deal, which is what we're doing. I think it looks pretty decent for the amount of time I put in. And I mean, that's not really the point. The point is that you're making a level and you're learning how to use Blender and all that shit. So, honestly, if I was going to make a game, I'd probably have an artist do it, because I'm not really an artist. I'm just some fucking guy online. So yeah, we have our finished product here. I look pretty much like the way it turned out. It's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like Unreal Tournament-ish. Yeah, I might add a little more to it. We're gonna add some items, have items on the wall, just like zombies, where you can, like, you know, buy them off the wall and shit. We're gonna add that. I'll probably do like a shotgun, a pistol, and like an SMG or something. We also might add a little door trim, maybe some baseboard, and then maybe just some like space shit up on the walls. That'll probably be cool. And then, of course, once we get to Godot, we're going to have to add all of our own lighting, because the lighting from Blender doesn't really carry over, so. But, yeah, it's going to be pretty freaking sweet. I made it kind of circular, and the enemies, I think we're going to go with something close to like Stephen King's The Langoliers looking, because it'll be easy to make in Blender. So here is the map that we made in Godot after we exported it from Blender. And yeah, I show you how to do stuff like this. It's going to be free. It's going to be up on YouTube. It's coming out in the next couple of weeks. I just wanted to post this to let people know about it so they tune in for it. But yeah, the torch I make, and then I make the signs in the tutorial so that people know how to make stuff like that. And then I kind of leave them to make their own base. Then we're going to code the stuff in Godot, and that's what I'm finishing up now. So after I finish the coding section, that's pretty much the whole game. We got to make some enemies. Like I said in the previous one, we're going to do like Langolier enemies. I still haven't made them in Blender yet, but I have a pretty good idea of how we're going to do it. It shouldn't take that long. All in all, I think this is going to be pretty cool, pretty fun. The idea would be that someone who has never really looked at game development before could just use this as a guide on how to do, you know, everything, how to make their own 3D environments. I really hated that every tutorial was just like some little 2D Zelda clone, and I just hate that shit. You know, you need a 3D landscape with some cool ass effects and shit. I mean, this doesn't look great right now, but we're going to improve upon it. This is really just a course to get the basics down, but yeah, if you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel, because this will be coming out probably middle or end of December. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, and I've just started a long play video game channel where I play pretty much like older 2000s games, and then I give facts about them. It's a long play of the entire game. I give facts about the game as I play, and I add commentary. So if you're interested in that type of content, feel free to check out my other channel, Average Video Game Enjoyer. I only have one playthrough, but more are coming. So Merry Christmas.